Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. This NBA season has been one of the most eventful NBA seasons in a while. It has been full of different storylines. You can think of the Ben Simmons, you can think of the Kyrie, think of so many other things, but so many other stories. But arguably, I think the most interesting storyline this season in the NBA is what is going on with the Los Angeles Lakers this season. By far, this is the most interesting one. The Lakers season has been a comedy of errors this entire season. First, they assembled a roster of old players that cannot play defense. We've done numerous videos on just how terrible of a defensive unit this team is. We even put a stat out there that basically said the Lakers as a team are being outscored by opponents on average this entire season. Just think about that for a moment. The Lakers are giving up more points than they're scoring on average for this season. They are a horrendous defensive team. So that was the first thing. They got a bunch of old players that can't play defense. It's something that you heard Charles Barkley, banging on about, making jokes about. Even you heard him making jokes during the All-Star Weekend thing, talking about they put together a bunch of old geezers, blah, blah. That's what he's alluding to. The second thing is they decided to pass on getting Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield, whom, by the way, was a deal that was put together by Rob Pelinka, the same Rob Pelinka that they're trying to blame. Just imagine how people work things out. They're trying to blame a guy that had a solution for listening to somebody that created a problem and is saying, hey, it's your fault for listening to a guy that had a problem. But if you didn't listen to him, they say, who are you not to listen to him? It's amazing how you guys are pulling this off. Rob Pelinka had a Buddy Hield trade on the table, and he also and there was also potential of the Lakers acquiring DeMar DeRozan, who now, with the Chicago Bulls, is one of the top 3 leading candidates for MVP this season. Just think about this. The Lakers had an opportunity to sign DeMar DeRozan, and they passed on him. They passed on these 2 players for who? Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook was a direct recommendation from LeBron James, Clutch Sports, and Anthony Davis. He was a direct recommendation. So the Lakers decided, you know what? We're going to listen to this guy because you know what? This guy, we've been told, knows what he's doing. So they decided to listen to him. And now that the thing has turned into a total disaster, a total mess, they're now trying to find ways to blame the guy that listened to them in the first place. But there's one person out there in media that's not going for it, and it's not going to just let you pull the wool over everybody's faces. And that person is Skip Bayless. Because Skip Bayless is pushing back on this entire notion that somehow the Laker fans and general NBA fans or whoever it is needs to be blaming the direction of Rob Pelinka. He's like, wait a minute. This is total madness. So let me read Skip Bayless's tweets that he put out regarding this issue yesterday on February 22nd. So he said, amusing that LeBron is now mad at the Lakers for refusing to get rid of the problem he pushed to acquire in Russell Westbrook. So those were Skip Bayless's comments. Now here's something I want to quickly touch on. Do you know that there's some people that will read those comments or listen to those comments? And do you know that there's some people that will listen to that and you know what they're going to translate that into? Skip Bayless is hating. Do y'all realize that there's a section of sports fans that reason like this? Do y'all realize that? There's some people they're not going to hear the sense in what he's saying. All they're going to hear is that he's hating. Essentially, what they're trying to do is muzzle anybody that's going to say the truth. If somebody says the truth, you're a hater. The fact of the matter is, Skip Bayless is 100% correct, and I agree with his comments 100%, not because I like Skip Bayless, but because it's the truth. It's the truth what this guy is saying, and it's one of the reasons why Stephen A. Smith said on ESPN the other day, he said this is what happens when players have too much control of organizations and they're able to make deals. He said all of a sudden players will start making deals with their hearts and their emotions. There's no way you would sign Russell Westbrook if it wasn't an emotional component in there over Buddy Hield or DeMar DeRozan. There's no good argument you can make for that. Nevertheless, they did, right? Even before they got Russell Westbrook, before Russell Westbrook ended up not playing well for this, we already knew that there were going to be some question marks. But nevertheless, they did that anyway. So you can't say, well, we didn't know he was going to play. You should have known. Because the moment he was acquired, before he even dribbled the ball for the Lakers, the majority of us, or a good amount of us, were saying, this thing is not going to work. So how is it that we're able to see this, but you weren't? And you guys are the basketball savants up there. So that's the first thing. So I totally agree with him. Let me just say this. This entire story, this entire thing has turned into one big brain fart. That's what this thing has turned into. Let me understand this. They are angry at Rob Pelinka because he didn't clean up their mess. And now they're trying to say it's his fault for listening to, you know that there are people out there that come in the comment sections and actually say this. They're saying that it's his fault for listening to LeBron. So if you're saying that in fact it is Rob Pelinka's fault for listening to LeBron, no problem. I'll grant you that. It also means that if it's his fault for listening to LeBron, it's also saying that LeBron has no business making basketball recommendations. Are you also saying that? If you're going to pass the blame to Rob Pelinka for saying it's his fault for listening to him, then you also have to say that the guy that was giving the advice doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Oh, but you guys are not going to do that. You guys are going to try to circumvent any type of blame and find a way to pass it on to somebody else. That's why your comments, nobody takes you guys seriously, you people that are saying that. Let me ask you a question. If LeBron is the leader, why isn't he owning up to his decisions? I thought that's what the leader does. I thought the leader takes responsibility. I never seen a leader that tries to run away from responsibility and passes blame to other people, to subordinates. Help me understand, how does that work? What type of, would you work for somebody like that? Would you work for a CEO like that? That whenever things go well, he takes 100% credit. Whenever things go poorly, they fire him. In reality, what actually happens at responsible organizations is that the CEO usually gets all the credit, and the CEO, when things go awry, he's usually the one that goes. In most cases, the companies that have boards and all, they'll let this guy, wait a minute, this guy's doing a terrible job. Let's bring somebody else in there. They're not going to start let me fire this guy and fire that guy. Yeah, maybe some people will go in unison, but usually the boss is supposed to be the one to say, hey, listen, I'm the one that's the leader here. I'm the one that's going to take blame for this stuff here. But that's not the case of what's happening here. Here's what I think is happening. I think the Lakers inner circle, talking about the management, Jeannie, but all these guys. I think they're beginning to realize that they don't want LeBron in his inner circle to take over their organization. I think really that's what you're seeing. I think that they realize that the Lakers is quickly turning into a clown show of an organization. That is essentially what is happening right now. And if I were them, y'all know. If I was a business person at that type of at that level, I'm not making any emotional decisions. I will have no sentimentality whatsoever. The person I would trade, actually, on second thought, I'll trade LeBron. People, there go the dislike button, the dislike. That's who I would trade. Do you know why I would trade him? I would trade him to remove the drama from my team. Let us flounder here. Let's perform poorly, but at least I can have some peace of mind. I'm tired of all of this nonsense, all of this drama. Nobody's going to hold a gun to my head and try to walk in here and run this organization. It's not going to happen. I'll trade you. I'll trade you and move you to another team. And let me figure out how I'm going to figure it out this way. With what I have, we have 16. What is it? 17? No, the Lakers have 17 championship banners, right? It means that we kind of have a pedigree of knowing what the hell we're doing. We'll figure it out. If we were just a team that had one NBA championship, then I would feel like, okay, I need to listen to this guy because obviously he knows. But we already won multiple times. And that's what I would do. I would just eliminate the drama. Forget about winning and losing games. I would eliminate the drama. That is what's happening. The Lakers are like, we're not going to make any concessions to you. We listen to you and look at the mess that it got us in now. And now you all of a sudden want us to pull a rabbit out of the hat. And secondly, for the people that actually want to side with this nonsense and feel like as if Rob Pelinka was supposed to, please explain to me in the comment section, what exactly was he supposed to do? Who was he supposed to trade? There are only three pieces. Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, or LeBron. Nobody wants Russell Westbrook. So what was he supposed to do? Pick up John Wall for something that would have been a lateral move. And then give up a pick for what? Why would I do it? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. And Rob Pelinka should keep his job. He should keep his job. He should. If I'm the ownership group you're not running the show. You got deep pockets, we got deep pockets. Nobody's gonna walk up in my establishment and try to run my thing. It ain't gonna happen. That's just me, however. Maybe I got a little bit too much ego in me. Maybe it's a little bit too much of the Ebo in me, but you ain't gonna run my bit. It's just not gonna happen. It's not. Especially I'm the one writing these checks. Oh, hell no. So these are my thoughts and opinions. My question is, what do you think about Skip Bayless for calling out this nonsense? And what do you think about the things that I said? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.